Sorry, it's been a while since I've updated a video. I've been working hard at this kind of stuff, and I've got something pretty unique. Not that it hasn't been done before, but I haven't done it before, that's for sure. Not too many other people have been able to do it, let alone do it this way. I haven't really seen anybody do it this way. This is kind of a Don Smith slash Ravi slash Lawton slash I don't know who else, kind of replication slash me, I guess. Let me tell you what I got going on here. First of all, I want to say that in putting this thing together and tuning it to get it to work, I think I've blown everything up, I don't know, 20 times. There's a lot of power going through here. It's very deceiving. I fried myself probably 10 times, and it is as powerful as sticking your finger into a light socket for sure, or a wall plug at 120. You can feel it. It's not a slight burn, it's not a slight pinch. It will blow you off your chair, and I can vouch for that. So that said, my meters are kind of pooched because I've blown them up. I've got one over there that I've blown up. The one over here does work, and it's there just for show, just to show you the kind of voltage that's flying around through this thing. I can't get it to stabilize. I can't measure the current. The meters don't work with this type of, anyway, the digital meters that I have don't work with this type of power and resonance. So I do have to get some analog meters to try and measure this properly. So unfortunately I can't do like a wattage in or wattage out at this time. What I've got going on is I'm going to show you some of it. I'm not going to show you all of it because it's just painstaking work, and if you guys want to replicate this and get yourself some plans to do so, I would suggest doing it as soon as possible, because I am 100% sure I'm going to replicate this fully. It's just working too well. It will be close to a Don Smith replication, except without all the expensive gear like laser modules and stuff like that. Mine is simple and it works. It's basically a couple of my special coils that I've found that work really well in these types of resonance situations. I got a couple of BIFILAR coils wound specifically for this. I do have a pickup coil right here, and it's very much like Don Smith's pickup coil. It's very unique and it works extremely well. So anyways, let me just explain to you what I got. So I've got the hydrogen cell right here. And again, it's just acting as a load. It's just acting as a variable load. So if I want to pump more power through it, it can handle the power. If I want to decrease the power, it can handle less power. So it's just a load. It could be a light, it could be anything. So that will be powered and making hydrogen while we're doing the rest of this. The power is coming in from that cord and going through my one BIFILAR over here. The BIFILAR comes out, goes through a switching device here, a MOSFET, and then the MOSFET in turn comes through here, which is the MOSFET in turn comes back and goes into the variable driver, which basically just controls the amps. And what I have is a pickup coil, a specially designed pickup coil, similar to Don Smith, but not quite exact because I couldn't really get his to work. But mine seems to work. And that pickup coil comes to a bridge rectifier, which has got some caps in it, a handful of caps that are specifically added to hit resonance of this specific system. Don Smith talks about this a lot, on how you have to get resonance at each step of the system, and in doing so you create lots of power. And this is definitely doing that. I can't really measure it, but I can definitely see it because I've got it pumping through a 120 volt lamp right here, which is basically fully lit when I turn it on. It's coming from a 12 volt power supply. It's probably, I'm guessing it's going to draw like an amp at the most at 12 volts, because I can see the hydrogen being produced. So yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell. I know it's really general, but it's basically the hydrogen cell is being powered, and it's being pulsed, and it's being tuned, and I have a pickup coil on top of my BIFILAR coil, and this thing is tuned like you wouldn't believe. It has taken me weeks to tune this. Don Smith stuff is no joke. The key is you have to tune it, and it has to be tuned so specifically. Like if you're just 1 hertz off, it won't work, but when you hit it, it works, and it works extremely well. I have a ground coming off the pickup coil. It's not even a good ground. It's just plugged into my wall socket ground, which is a terrible ground if you ask me, but it seems to be doing the trick. I will show you the signal as well, which is very similar to Don Smith's. It might not be exact, but it's pretty close. And that's basically it. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it on, and you can just watch my meter go nuts. It goes nuts. It pegs it. So I can't measure anything. Same thing with the amps. I put it on amps. It pegs the amps as well. So let me just hook it up right here. I'm just hooking up the positive side of the hydrogen cell, and for everybody who wants to see some hydrogen, we got some, we'll see some hydrogen come out there. Not a lot, just enough to get everything in resonance. Here's the meter going nuts. Well, I'm just gonna get the clip on here a little bit better. One-handed, always a pain, right? And just let me tune this a little bit. It's hard to see it, so I can't even look at it. It's fully lit. Again, this light is just off the pickup coil. It is not connected to anything except the pickup coil, and I have a small cap going across it to stabilize it a little bit. I'm just tuning it. Now look, watch my finger. I just touch it. This is how sensitive it is. And it changes. It's really sensitive. So I'm just tuning it a little bit here. Trying to get it to stabilize a little bit. And how you can see that, or how that's going to turn out. It's fully lit. I can't look at it. That's it. There's the signal. Actually, it looks very similar to one that I did a few years ago, so pretty cool. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. Let's see if I can show you this a little bit more. Anyways, that's the signal coming out. There's the hydrogen. There's my meter. It's pegged. Meter is going across that lamp, going across a very small capacitor, but the key is right here. This is a bridge rectifier coming off of the pickup coil, and it's got a bunch of caps on there specific to the tuning of this device. And believe it or not, there's a bunch of magnets on the pickup coil that are strategically placed and again tuned. You got to tune this thing, and once you hit it, it's amazing. Once you hit it, without the magnets, without the caps, without the tuning of the input, none of it works. You really got to get it all tuned, and once you get it tuned, it works amazingly well. and it's so sensitive, it's incredible. I'm going to hopefully get my other ground cable hooked up and see what this thing can really do. I do have an outside ground cable, ground rod that I've used for other experiments. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it. If you guys want the plans for this, I'm gonna sell them. Don't be cheap. Like, if you want this technology, it's real, it's legit, it works. I'll have everything laid out in the plan. To build it, I don't know, like probably talking like $1,000 or something like that. It is pretty painstaking to do. Like to build them to sell, but it's a lot easier just to get the plans. So yeah, take advantage while you can. This thing's gonna work. I'm gonna scale it up. I'm gonna keep moving forward, and I know it's gonna work out because it's already doing incredible things. So I haven't seen anything like this before without using like a laser setup or some sort of transformer. Like, there's no transformer in this whatsoever. It's a pickup coil and a couple of BIFILAR rods, and I just tuned it. That's all it takes. Sounds simple, but you gotta know how to do it. Anyways, if anyone's interested, my email will be there. My website's down. I'm not going to use the website anymore because I just got too many inquiries, and everybody wants to chat all day, and I can't chat all day. So if you're interested, it does what it does. It creates thousands of volts. It works 120 volts off of 12 volts with just a simple, not simple, but simple to me because I've been working on it forever. With a relatively simple design. Anyways, I'm really excited. Works amazing. I can't wait to see what's next.